Welcome to this video. Now let's proceed and take care about some error handling. On the right side in the client app source app folder, open the search flights folder and go to the search flights component. Now pay attention, I'm talking about the search flights component, not the book flight component. So scroll a little bit down and check out this handle error here that we have just written. Now let's extend it a little bit more and then copy it over. So we can get even more information about that error we have right here by going deeper into that error object itself. Now we can do that by using, for example, console.log and then response error status is actually, there you go, error.status. So this, as you may have guessed already, will return a response code like 400 or 500 or 404. Now response error.status text is the actual message written like this. So now we have some more information logged to the console. The most important thing, however, is that it's attached to the search flight service here, to that method. Now we have done that by going into the subscribe method and adding it as a handler, as an additional handler. Now let's copy over that method. Copy it, go to the book flight component, paste it in. Now in subscribe, go ahead and edit this dot handle error. Okay, this is all we have to do. Now we have attached that handle error to it just as we did in the search flights component. Again, if you get lost along the way, simply go ahead and check out the Git commit so that you know what steps I've done here in detail. So the GitHub repository is definitely a safe place for you to make sure that they don't miss or screw up anything. Now we have logged a lot of stuff to the user, but that's not enough. We should definitely go ahead and if we cannot find the flight, right, because we're passing in an invalid ID, for example, we should go ahead and tell the user that we have nothing found. There is no flight, right? So now that you know that you can use that error object status, which is the status code, you can go ahead and say something just like if error.status equals to 404, it's an integer, you can go ahead and call alert and then something like flight not found. Well, if you don't know alert because you have no prior experience in JavaScript, alert is simply popping up a small window in your browser to inform the user about any notification. And right here we simply pass in a string, right? So if we have a status code 404, we simply show that alert. Let's go ahead and try it out. Start the application. Now let's search for flight. Let's click on book. So this is actual true because we have submitted the correct ID right here. Right? And in the moment, just to remember you again, in the moment we click on book, we will call that get endpoint and automatically submit the GUID of the flight. So every time we click here on book, we will have a correct 200 status code, which will actually lead us to the correct flight. Now, if we call that endpoint, we do that right here, right? This is the call to the endpoint. If we simply go to that page, you can see it always working because he calls our RESTful API endpoint, submits that GUID here, and he will find that flight. Now, if we adjust it like this 301, let me hit enter, you can see an alert popping up saying flight not found. And you can see the details that we have here at the card, let's call the card at least, is, well, not visible. There are no informations because we have no flight found. Now, if we click OK, you can still see that we are able to stay on that page, but that should not be a good practice. I mean, to be honest, even showing like data like this, so no data at all, right, just only icons and stuff like that, is not what we want to have. So, well, now that we know that we have no data, we should take care about redirecting the user automatically so that he is not able to stay on that site, for example, right? So we can add some auto navigation by using the router, and we will get to that just in a second. But I just wanted to make clear what's happening here. So we're loading that page, we get that alert because our RESTful API endpoint is not finding any flight with that GUID. So he will return a 404 response. We can see that if we open up the console, you can see that right here, status code 404, and then he stays simply on that site. And we will now take care about it and redirect the user because we are really caring about UX, right? User experience. And this, to keep it or to leave it like this, is not a great user experience. So let's continue with that.